Welcome to the longest running show on the UCPN. It is the Definitive Crusade. I'm your host, joining me, Hughes, and joining me as always is the lovely Freyja.
Hi guys.
Hey, how's it going?
Good. It's going great.
Yeah. Getting ready for spring. Has spring sprung in your corner of the world?
Yeah, it's raining constantly now.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, that's what we got. April showers and all that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, excellent. So, we've got some books. There's just the two of us, so we've gone with our Robin and spoiler motif for the show.
Yeah.
If anyone calls you Robin, I'm really disappointed.
Don't you want to be spoiler?
Only on certain nights.
Oh, okay.
Oh, and there goes our YouTube rating. All right, okay. First up then is a book that I must have been banging on about for ages. And we're getting back to DC Basics. That's right. It's Wonder Woman in a bondage cover. Yay! Kinda, of sorts, at least. Anyway, this is Wonder Woman 8, written by Tom King, art by Daniel St. Pierre. Tommy Moreau is on colours and Clayton Cowles is on letters. That's for the main book. There is a backup story which is charming and fun, kinda. But the main crux of this book is the main story. And before we go into the ins and outs of the story, because this is quite a contentious issue, this one, can we agree that Daniel St. Pierre's art is just gorgeous?
Yes.
For the most part. Can we agree on that?
Yes.
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 Right. Now we've got that out of the way.
Okay.
I can't believe I'm enjoying yet another Tom King book. You know, I don't know what it is. I enjoyed the Supergirl book. I enjoyed this. It's like, I don't know. He writes certain characters just better. When take the Batman Catwoman thing was just awful.
Yeah.
But, of course, do we talk about Heroes in Crisis anymore? Right. So here we have it. Wonder Woman has been captured by the Sovereign and is now trying to be tortured to give herself up and swear her mind to their way of thinking. Dum dum dum.
Oh.
Freyja, you're kind of not a fan of Wonder Woman, so I am.
No.
I know you're not a huge fan, so I apologize for going with this book.
No, it's fine.
So take it from there. What's happening? What's going on with this book?
Okay, so you pretty much just, said it as it is. She's been captured. She's tied up with the lasso of lies. They're trying to break her mind, that sort of thing. It's just I don't know if it's because I'm a female or what. Like,
all right, okay.
Well,
hold on, let me get the red button ready. Here we
go. So here's the thing.
We started out friends. It was good. It was all pretend.
Yeah, no. Okay. Here's the thing. I've been told my entire life as a female, I can choose what I want to do. I can be a stay-at-home mom. I can go into the workforce. However, hypocritical bastards want to downplay women who want to stay at home. They go, there must be something wrong with her. Why would she want to be a stay-at-home mom? Oh, that's the bad choice. I'm like, shut the fuck up. If a woman wants to be a stay-at-home mom, there is nothing wrong with that. If a dude wants to be a stay-at-home father, there's nothing wrong with that. But you hypocritical bastards always got to demean women who want to be stay-at-home moms. There's nothing wrong with that. And that's my main issue with this thing. And they're manipulating to like Steve Rogers. Poor Steve Rogers is getting drugged through the mud in this issue, man. Like, but then again, whatever. I have freaking Captain America stuck in my head because I just watched it. Leave me alone. I'm sorry. Same difference, same time period, same first name. Leave me alone. I'm sorry. So many Steves in comics. Okay, leave me alone.
Yeah, that's right. There's two. Well done.
But like poor Steve. So like he doesn't act like this. Obviously, we've seen plenty of books where he's not like this. But it's like, oh yeah, 1950s must have really sucked. And I was like, okay, first of all, My grandmother would never have allowed her husband to treat her like this, ever, on either side. My grandmothers were feisty women. They would not have let their husband, degrade them. If my grandfather ever, and my grandfather did this to my dad too, because my dad was born in the 1950s. If they ever said anything about my grandmother's cooking, my grandfather would smack them upside the head and said, "Shut up. You don't talk to your mother like that." So it's just that whole thing, because I see it a lot. Women are like, "Oh, 1950s women were abused, blah blah." Like, maybe if your family sucked ass, mine didn't. My family never degraded.
So let me just ask you a
family.
quick question then. So in the 50s, and your grandfather was, smacking people upside the head when people complained about your grandmother's cooking. Did your grandfather ever do the cooking? Or was it
Yes.
just, yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
My grandfather was a cowboy, man. He did the
course.
cooking too. His cornbread, mwah,
His,
loved when my
his can of
grandfather.
beans over an open fire.
Heck yeah. My grandfather was so old school. He kept a can of reused grease that he would reuse during cooking. Okay.
That sounds. That
It
sounds like
sounds
my granddad.
disgusting,
That
but
sounds like my granddad, to be
my
fair.
grandfather would do that all the time. My other grandfather was a fish and game warden, so he would go out and hunt, and then he'd bring home what he had killed that day, and he would
Okay.
clean it and cook it as well. So both my grandfathers, one was a cowboy, one was a hunter. So, and my dad, in my family, my father, whoever cooked, cooks. Whoever did not cook does the dishes.
That's
So
how
if
it
my
works in my
mother
house.
cooked, my dad did the dishes. My mom, when she was gonna marry my dad, my grandmother said, the bad thing about my father is he won't stop cleaning the house. And so my mom's like, all right, I'm marrying this dude. So my dad, like, you can't make him stop helping you with the housework. It is insane. So I'm sorry. I guess I lucked out with having an amazing family with amazing men in it, because I have a great relationship with all the men in my family. So when I see stuff like this, I'm like, okay, sorry that your family sucked, but not all families were like this. And once again, women have the right to be able to be stay-at-home moms if they make enough money to do that, and they shouldn't be degraded or made to feel bad for making that decision. There's nothing wrong with that. And if a husband wants to do that and the wife wants to go to work, then great. If I had a choice, I'd be a stay-at-home mom, because working a job and getting shit on all the time is not exactly what I would consider, oh yeah, raise my character up. I feel like shit every time I go to work because people suck. I'd rather stay at home and do the housework, But it's just that whole thing. It irritates me because I've seen it all the time, and I'm like, I don't know what's wrong with people's lives, seriously, to like have that negative of a viewpoint. I get what they're doing in the comic for that thing, but I don't know why Diana, a woman who was raised in Themyscira with no men, would even like have any idea about the patriarchy or anything like that.
Okay,
because she was raised in an all women's society.
Agreed. Right.
Like
so
it's just, and then also the religion thing. I always cringe whenever they badmouth religion, because it's like, here's my thing. I get it. You do the religion you're most accustomed to, but you would never, ever see anyone bring up any other religion. How many times in a comic book have they brought up the misogyny in any other religion besides Christianity?
It's a fair point. It's a fair question.
Because you have no balls. That's why. You know for a fact that if you come up after any other religion besides Christianity, you will be fucking crucified online. And you know it. You know it.
Right.
And here's the thing.
Okay,
I'm not saying. I'm just sorry. Last point. I'm not saying any other religion is bad or whatever. There's dicks in every religion. It just is what it is. It's the safe bet to go with Christianity. And I know he's doing 1950s USA, and that's why it's Christianity, blah, blah, blah. But it's just, it's an old trope that gets used too much. And I think it doesn't have the impact you think it does anymore because we've seen it so much.
Okay, let me just make some quick notes. All right, okay.
Sorry, that's my final thought. Overall, I get where they're going. I get it. But I've seen this so much that it's just like, bleh.
So, all right.
But the arc's fantastic.
Right,
fantastic.
the
art.
arc is fantastic. So here's
Sorry.
how it looks in from my, I suppose, from my world looking in, is that I agree with you that wholeheartedly that women can be stay-at-home moms or work moms or whatever. And there's no problem with that. I have no problem with that. I know people who prefer being stay-at-home moms. I know people who want to go out and work. You know, everyone has a choice, regardless of gender. I don't think the book here is necessarily saying that one is bad over the other. I think they're using it as a juxtaposition to say, well, hold on, this is the character that we know so well as the warrior. Then we're going to throw into something completely different as a means to try and, you know, curb her and kind of brainwash her a little bit. It's not saying that being a mom, a stereotypical mom in the 50s, like Marion in the Happy Days, isn't a bad thing. It's not a good thing. It's just a thing. All right. For your experiences with your grandparents, you know, they're equally as valid as somebody's experience who actually went through the more stereotypical side. As for the Christianity thing, I think, again, from the view looking into the cheap seats, I think the reason why Christianity gets used so much is because there's probably, of all the comic creators in the world that work as well, especially for DC books and Marvel books, there will be a preponderance of some version of Christianity, whether it's Catholicism or whether it's Methodist or whether it's whatever it is, you know. Whereas opposed to and if people know that, you write what you know. I think it's hard to write about another religion or another religious impact if you're not in that religion, and it just comes across as disingenuous and comes with a bit of a hack thing, and it kind of doesn't work so well. You could argue that Miss Marvel from the Kamala Khan book, not the Carol Danvers book from the 70s, works so well because G. Woodrow Wilson is Muslim, so therefore that can explain that element of religion correctly. Whereas me, I'd be just like doing a bit of Google research, thinking this, oh, this looks cool, blah blah blah, and I'd be getting it wrong, and then that's when I get vilified on the internet for writing a terrible comic book, and that's how it should be. So
Yeah.
I get what you're saying, and I agree with you to an extent. But the other religions aren't going to come into play until people who are in those religions start writing comic books.
Yeah.
As for the main book of here, Justice League. Can you remember Justice League where the Star crossed with? Yeah. I'm not saying that's a lift or anything. It's a lift. Do you remember the episode where in Smallville when Lois says she wants to be the perfect partner for Clark and she turns into a 50s housewife?
Oh God.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Do you remember the movie Don't Worry Darling with Harry Styles?
No,
Oh,
I don't watch
terrible.
anything with Harry Styles.
No, I don't
making
either,
that point.
but unfortunately my wife did, and I caught the last half an hour of it. I was like,
Oh,
why
God.
are they setting some sort of crazy like 50s style play? Oh, that's it, and just the way it was. So
the new Fallout series, the Atomic 1950s retro style.
It's not quite that bad. I like the arc itself is absolutely spot on. I think the pacing is brilliant. I love how the kind of moving across. And what we're saying, I suppose, or what I'm saying is the version that they're trying to break Wonder Woman or break Diana with is the bad guy's version of what it is to be a woman rather than the actual one, right? So he's like saying things that women should be subservient, women should not have a voice, they shouldn't, you know. That said, I also loved the bit I absolutely one of the most is I didn't know where this book was going to go. I'm reading it and I'm thinking, is she going to escape? Is she going to get brainwashed? Are the other Wonder Girls going to come back and save her? Because they make appearance. I had no idea where this was going. So when she finally does, when Hippolyta turns up, I was like, yeah, oh, this is interesting. And then, you know, Hippolyta's right. When's Wonder Woman ever listened to her? So, and then she does the thing. The most disappointing aspect of the book is that last page, because that arm looks bonkers. That, after all the great work, that art looks terrible on that arm.
That arm.
But I do love the little note she leaves Steve.
Yeah.
Have I missed this? Is it one after the arm? Is it? Let's have a quick look. She leaves Steve a note and it says, "Oh yeah, there it is." It's, P.S. The house is a little messy. You're going to need a new vacuum. And that's because the vacuum went through the window like 4 pages before or whatever. So yeah. I like the kind of the humor of that situation. It doesn't really tie so much, I don't think, because it's like kind of an afterthought. But you know, I wouldn't argue with Wonder Woman when she's like this at all.
No.
At all. The other side bit is this story where Lizzie, who is having this story narrated to her, the main Wonder Woman story is getting narrated to her. This is her growing up tales, and this is she's gone back in time to do a Bill and Ted adventure, practically. And you can see how everything she does changes the current. So you get to see Superman and Robin, you get to see Wild West, you get to see them as monkeys, you get to see them as androids, you get to see them as Lex and Joker, Superboy and Red Robin. I quite like this one here, the two girls. I think that was quite cool. Yeah, I like that one a lot. But it is.
You don't like them as ducks?
No, I just thought that was quackers. Oh dear God! But no, I thought this, the tales of Lizzie the Wonder Girl. I think they're all right. They're interesting.
Yeah.
I find it. The hard part I find about it is that in the main continuity, John's hanging out with Nightwing a lot more than he hangs out with Damian now.
Yeah, because he's older. I think they seem to have de-aged him with the series, which I prefer him with Damian. I don't like him being aged up. They should have kept him the same age as Damian, because they play off each other so much better.
Agreed.
And because it's no fun having two goody, lack of a better term, goody characters together. You need that one like chaotic character with the goody character, because it just plays better. And now we have a goody chaos character in the mix. So I like this trio now. I do. She is still growing on me. But I'm just happy to have Damian and John together again.
Cool. So I think Wonder Woman 8 was always going to cause controversy for some people.
Yeah. It's all about perspectives. I have certain perspectives, and I get like I said, as a woman, I get bombarded with this stuff all the time. So I'm just kind of like done with it, because I can't tell you how many like dates I've been on with the guy with just because there was this one guy, right?
Oh, hold on. I need a new logo.
It is. I have stories with Freyja, but like, because he was like, I don't even remember we were talking about something, and then he goes, "Oh yeah, I'm an ally for women's suffrage," and I'm like, "What the fuck are you talking about?" We're talking about video games. We're talking about video games. And he's like, "Yeah, it's so sad that you can't even play video games without being harassed." And I'm like, dude, everyone gets harassed while playing online with other people. It's called the mute button. I use it liberally. Like, I just mute if people are going to be dicks. But I'm like, have you not been in a Call of Duty lobby? Like, just silently listen to the dudes be like that to the other dudes? I'm like, the fucker. And I'm like, I was like, I lost all respect for him at that. I'm like, just because I'm a female, I don't want to hear shit like that. Like, what?
Yeah.
I'm like, what time? Why are you saying this to me? We were just talking video games, and all of a sudden he's like, yeah, you women are so oppressed. I'm like, it's so cringy. But yeah, like I said, as a woman, I get bombarded with stuff like that. No, oh hell no.
Did you even get to finish the first date, or did you do the whole? I'm just going to pop to the ladies' room.
I got free food
by myself.
Free food, and then opted out, man. I will finish the date and then I'll just leave. I'll be like, okay, thanks. I'm leaving now. I didn't do the 0 text message where my friend's like, save me. Call me and tell me I need to come home. He was more cringe than anything else. I only opt out if they're like creepy. He was just cringy. So
Okay.
yeah, but like I said, it's all about perspectives. Some people this is fine. Other people like me who get bombarded with this stuff, you're just sick of saying it, and so it's just like rubs you the wrong way.
Yeah, I get that.
So I'm not gonna say it's a bad book because like we always say, it's just up to personal interpretation. If you like it, that's great. If I don't, because once again, I get bombarded with this stuff all the time. I'm just kind of sick of it.
I don't
You know?
I don't like the book. I don't like the book because of the way women was portrayed in the 50s. I like the book because it's really intense. The whole kind of conversations, and it's driving the story forward.
I like the use of the lasso of lies. I did like the lasso of lies. So
to me, the 50s stuff is just a kind of a mix thrown in to kind of separate dramatically between the reality of Wonder Woman where she is and what they're trying to get her to do.
And out of context and whatever, I just love 50s styles. I actually own some 1950s dresses because they're freaking awesome, man. They're cute.
With all the petticoats and stuff, right?
I have petticoats, yes. I have a black one and I have a white one, depending on the color of the dress I have.
Cool.
I used to cosplay. Of course, I have petticoats.
Of course. and seamed stockings and everything. Yeah.
I have the ones with the lines up the back, and I do fishnets sometimes. I know it's not accurate, but fishnets are awesome, man.
Yes, they are. On that note, we're going to take a quick break. No, we're going to go in homage of the random dude Josh, who was with us last time. It appears we're looking at this again. When you said Dark Age, Batman Dark Ages 2, I was like, is that the one about the dinosaurs? Which one's that one? I can't remember. And then I opened this up. I was like, oh, really?
Yeah.
All right. So this is Mark Russell on writing, Michael Aldred on art, Laura Aldred on colors, and Dave Sharp, who I'm going to start calling Sharpie just because he's a letterer. It makes sense. But sorry, Dave. It's a bad joke. I will not do it again. All right, so it's an alternative Batman story. Woo! Who wants to know how alternative Bruce became alternative Batman?
Woo! And he fights the putties from Power Rangers.
Go Batman, Bruce Wayne. There you go. I do like the mad cover for Superman. Like,
sorry, the nipples distracted me way too much. I was like, dang, the dude's hairy.
But when we get to a certain age, hair starts sprouting out of places, man.
I know. I've seen old men with like the bushes coming out of their ears.
Yeah. Why do you think I wear these?
Oh, okay.
All right. What did you think of this book?
I still don't like the art.
Fair enough.
Straight up, it's not. I don't like the style at all. Bruce's cake is levitating in one of the panels. I don't know how he managed that, but it is. What page is it? What? It's when he's like, I ordered a birthday cake. If you look at when he has it on the table with his hands, like 90% of the tray's not even on the table. It's just floating in the air. But I'm sorry. And that dude's skull is shaped super weird. But overall, he goes to Vietnam to serve his prison sentence. I don't freaking know if they actually did that, but I'm too lazy to Google it, so I'll just let it slide. Also, having Lucius Fox want to kill Bruce is a choice, I guess. But then, like, later on in the comic, he's helping Bruce, so I'm completely confused about
I made that note. I wrote that note down here. I was like, not quite sure how Lucius turns tail so quickly. 1 minute he wants to kill him, and the next minute he's supplying his tech for the new Batman.
Yeah, and he's keeping quiet about it too. I'm just like, okay, that was this not supposed to be Lucius? But it says Mr. Fox, so I'm like,
Lucius is a player.
yeah, I guess. I was like, all right. And then of course Bruce being not at all like Bruce, which is still weirding me. Like he seems like a weird character because like my hat, and I'm like, Bruce, you're in Vietnam, dude. And then Raj Al Ghul being there was weird with and McQueen. That is like the worst panel, I gotta say.
That one was Raish at the top.
Raish, was it Raj or Raish? I don't know.
I say Raish.
Yeah, it's the one above that, before that, when you have his back and he's holding the knife. Everyone's looks so
action figure.
Yeah, weird. And then the two guys, Bruce and whoever that other person is, it looks like they just copy and pasted the body, just slapped a different face on it, and then just elongated one of them slightly. Like the proportions are all funky. And then having McQueen here, I mean, I guess it would make sense with having Green Arrow there, but like, why? I don't know why I call him McQueen. Queen, I don't know. I'm tired. I'm sorry. I'm getting everyone's name wrong. Green Arrow.
maybe you stuck on Steve, and it's Steve McQueen you're thinking about.
I don't freaking too many Steves.
Yeah. Freyja, are you seeing someone called Steve? Is that how you try to tell
I swear, I'm not seeing anyone named Steve.
Steven?
I have an uncle named Steven. No, I don't know. I'm just having a rough time, man. I don't know.
Well, just so you know, it's Johnny. Yeah.
Okay, Johnny. Oh god, oh jeez. But like overall, this the book was a whole lot of. I guess it shows Bruce getting trained and Green Arrow getting trained. I didn't know he was trained by Al Ghul, but yep. I don't know, alternate universe, I guess.
Yeah.
And then they just like, oh, you've been honorably discharged. We're going to leave you in the middle of Vietnam.
Why was he
back?
Why was he honorably discharged?
I don't know. They didn't explain.
Well, it's because I had a double clutch on this myself because I was like, what? But I think it's because he was expected to go and interrogate the guy or kill him. That's why he's given him the knife.
He didn't kill him.
And he said, "Oh, I'll do it tomorrow." Improper, because this Bruce Wayne, even at this young stage, he's more fop than he is fighter.
Yeah.
So he's gonna put off what he can't do today until tomorrow. So he's put it off, and that's why he's left behind. Is because that's it. If you're not gonna follow my orders, if you're not gonna do what I say, I don't need you. See ya. But you're right. It's Batman Begins. How the hell does he get back from God knows where? I have no idea. But
he's in northern Vietnam. He's not getting back. That's the thing. And it's just, I don't know. The whole thing's weird. The art style throws me too much. I mean, if the art was different, I think I'd like it more. But there's too many plot inconsistent. The Lucius Fox thing, I'm like, is he going to like turn on him later or what? I don't know what's going on. Like,
I guess we'll find out.
It's a lot of pages for a whole lot of nothing.
Well, I think that as well. To be honest, I think I've seen that many alternative Bruce Wayne stories or Batman stories that I don't particularly need another one.
No.
And you're right. The art is a little bit funky in lots of places. I have a couple of Aldred books in my collection, and I find the art peculiar. I do like some of the kind of some of the bat poses in this, and I think the writing for me is enjoyable to a point, and that's kind of where I'm at. I don't understand where he goes and uses a bat motif on these poster, even though I know in the gang he's called, there's a team of bats. That's what we call ourselves, the bats, to do.
But how would they know that?
Yeah,
Did they
exactly.
Make the bats name?
Exactly. So I'm not quite sure. Does he trust Jim Gordon because he tried to bribe him in the last issue to get out of his prison sentence and fail foul? So therefore, I trust you because he knows nothing about Lucius Fox trying to bribe him to kill him. So I don't know. I'm with you. There are a little bit inconsistencies and stuff. The putties of the False Face Society, so we'll get to see Black Mask at some point. I think Harvey's pretty much in there somewhere along the line as well.
Yeah.
But I don't know. It's interesting to see Black Label try something different. I'm not quite sure I'm enjoying it enough to go out and buy it. In fact, I know I'm not enjoying it enough to go out and buy it because I haven't.
No.
Whereas the other thing with Dan Jurgens, the first Batman, I'm all over that like a rash. So in a good way. As if a rash could be anything but a bad thing. Okay, right. So no, I think if you're a Mike Aldred fan, you're probably going to love the book because that's that quirky art style. If you're an Elseworld fan and you haven't read any Elseworld books for a while, you're probably going to enjoy it. I don't know. I think there's just too much going on at DCY sometimes that I don't need yet another Bat book. There's
too many, honestly. I love Batman, but there's way too many Bat books.
True that. Right, time for an advert for one of our other shows. Should we go K-pop? Are you shaking your head because you don't want to see K-pop?
No, it's fine.
You don't want K-pop?
No, we can do K-pop. That's fine. Let's plug my show. Yeah.
Here it comes. There you have it, K-pop Cosmos. A monthly show. So I saw you share something on Twitter earlier this week. So you must be getting geared up for another show soon.
Yes, we are.
Cool.
We just dropped an episode about a girl group, EXID. So we're getting ready for the next one.
Cool. There you go. So for fashion, music, and everything K-pop, check it out. There you go. What more could you want? More girls in fishnets and seam stockings.
I'm sorry. I'll try to find more girls with fishnets for you, man.
All right, so we're up with a book now. For me, currently, if I'm buying my books, I get them all in one go. The first book I'm reading is Wonder Woman. The second book I'm reading is this one. That's how good I think this book has been since Tom Taylor took over it. It is Nightwing 113. Tom Taylor with an assist from Marv Wolfman. Danielle De Niculo is on art with the help from Bruno Redondo. Adriana Lucas is on colors, and Wes Abbott is on letters. Now, I may have said right there that I really read this book's like the second book I read out of my pile of comics that I get, and that's true. However, Freyja, don't you just hate it when the powers that be tell you there's a major storyline coming up, but because the way the comic industry works and you have to order your books 2 months in advance, we end up getting a series of books that just feel like lame ducks because nothing happens. And that's exactly where we are with Nightwing right now. It's like we're waiting for the fall of Grayson to kick off, which is the big arc before Tom Taylor and Bruno Redondo leave the book. So, we'll wait with bated breath for that, and in the meantime, we had a couple of filler issues.
Yay, fillers.
Yay, fillers.
Yay.
Right, so it's the the art throws me off. I don't understand why the heroes are so angular, square face, and all the bad guys are like cartoony, like squidgy faces. So it's like,
He the captain looks like a freaking what was it? Dr. Light from Mega Man.
yeah. Fair point.
He does. He literally looks like Dr. Light from Mega Man.
Nightwing's scared of heights at the minute, which is the thing that's going to cause him grief, and yet here he is jumping off scaffolding.
Oh yeah.
Just saying.
I mean, okay. I think they forgot about that.
They mentioned it later on, actually. So there's this whole thing with Nightwing and the Robins, which is always fun to have. And then we get some Oracle love, which is always
I love they're my ship. I'm sorry. I know everyone who likes Starfire with him, but
no.
I like Barbara. I love Babs.
Cool. Then it's off to see the X. Again, more squidgy faces. And then the big surprise is that whilst Grace and Dick's getting honoured, also Oracle's getting involved as well at the same time. Bruce is there in the crowd, which is odd because currently in his book he's being held prisoner. He's just recently escaped by jumping off the ramparts of the Bloodhaven.
It's Superman pretending to be Bruce again.
Yeah. In Detective Comics, he's just come back, so interesting. I do like the kind of tour around the quick DC universe as we see it. So you've got the Birds of Prey base, you've got Metropolis, you've got Gotham Mall with Red Hood to try and watch the TV. Titan Towers is there. The Fifth Dimension with the what's his name? Bat Knight and Might Wing. Is that what he's called? Might Wing? I don't know.
Might Wing?
I don't know. I don't care.
Exactly.
And then I suppose the pièce de resistance is this Marvin Georges. You know the relevance of Marvin George?
No.
So this is Marv Wolfman and George Perez. These are the characters that were writing Teen Titans at the time and created Nightwing, essentially. So
okay.
That's pretty much picture perfect of what Marvin Wolfman looks like. The guy in the picture there, on that panel where my cursor is, that's George Perez, who passed away a few years back.
Oh, okay. That's a nice little.
Well, this is kind of like a nod to them.
Nod, yeah.
Review before we get to the whole crux and like, guys, the big story's still coming. Don't give up on us yet. It's still coming. The backup story, which is, I'll say pretty by the numbers. I mean, I think it's trying to be showing you how cool Nightwing can be and everything.
Johnny, you're kind of sounding like you're under the sea.
Oh, am I?
Yeah. There we go.
Is that better?
Yeah, now I can hear you. Yeah.
Sorry.
That's fine. No, that's fine.
So yeah, I'm not quite sure what the backup story is all about, but Nightwing, I'm looking forward to the next run. What was your take on this?
I agree with you kind of on the art. They had nice use of color. I will give them that. Everything's bright. It kind of feels like manga-ish mixture, like anime style, kind of mixed with comic books, like Western comics. Like I said, he looks like Dr. Light from Mega Man, the sea captain. I just can't. And that panel where they're jumping from the scaffolding. I don't know what Nightwing is like the only one who's like shadowed out. Like you can see they're coming from the same direction at the same angle pretty much, but why is he the only one? He's not Batman. Why is he the only one covered in complete darkness? Like you can't see his face. And there's like it just threw me off. And then if you go to the next little panel down below, not page, the same page, with Robin, Damian kicking. Yeah, his legs jacked up. Yeah. When you're kicking, no, no. Unless he's double jointed and we don't know. No, you're like, can't do that. Not comfortably.
That's a pretty big calf he's got going on there, though, isn't it?
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
it's a
Very well
thing.
developed 13-year-old. Well done.
Good job. Yeah, I know, right? And then it's just little nitpicks here and there. Like, I don't know. It's just the faces are an issue with me. I don't know what they did to Babs. I did appreciate Nightwing wearing the reverse of that meme of Batman slapping Robin on his t-shirt. I thought that was funny, and I want that shirt now. But overall, it's just yeah, nothing happened. Nothing really happened in this book. Nice to see that the doggo has gotten big and changes size, because when they're all eating pizza, all of a sudden the dog is freaking gigantic. But if it wasn't, it would be lost in the crowd, I guess. But yeah, nothing really happened. The second issue, I like the use of the, I wish I knew the term, the wording, the words that they have for the sound effects, the clack of the train, and like how they use that for like, and it's the light. I like the use of that. There was no real like spoken words. It was just the sounds. I like the use and how it's on the train, like the rails for the, I thought that was really good. And overall, besides that, the art was kind of hit and miss with me. I did like, once again, I like the use of colors, like the vibrancy of the lighting and whatnot was very nice. But other than that, I don't get the point of this. I don't know what the point was. Yeah, I don't know. This book, I know you buy it and you like it, but I don't know. It's just kind of, I think this would be a pass for me. I think I'm just too hard to please.
I think this issue would, if I wasn't buying this on a regular, I don't think I'd go out and buy it because of this.
Yeah.
I think that's probably, it's because I'm invested in the story so far.
Yeah.
So that's kind of how that works for me, I'm afraid. From a completeness point of view, I don't actually own, when he was Rick for a while.
Oh, I hate that series.
Yeah,
I hated that run.
I dropped it at that point and
it was
then
bad.
Picked it back up when Dick Grayson came back. So there you go.
Yeah, the Rick run was just terrible. So bad.
I'm not pointing any fingers at anybody in particular who was involved in that. Scott Lobdell. I'm not saying anything. Just saying.
Not saying names, but I'm gonna say names.
I didn't say he was right. I didn't say he was right, did I?
I know what you're saying. I know. I see.
All right. So our last book. Is Flash number 8, written by Simon Spurrier. Simon, not Steve. Don't get all excited. Ramon Perez and Vasco. I can't pronounce the surname, so I think it's Georgiev. Is on art. Sophie Dugson and Matt Herms is on colours, and Hassan Otsman Elawal, who I've met at Thorpe last year, is on letters. So this is basically the Amanda Waller show again, as Amanda's taken on. Watch out for those nip-naps. Taken on the Flash this time, as opposed to being all about Green Arrow. So there you go. This was one of your choices. So do I need to get my Freyja rant button out again?
Maybe a little bit. Maybe. It's just not right now. So overall, I liked the story. Overall, there are
it's the same story as the Wonder Woman story.
No, yes and no. Wonder Woman story hit me differently because it was a female thing. Anyway, okay. So this one, it's a little bit different. I hate Amanda Waller. Can we go like a couple months or maybe a couple of years without having her show up again? That would be nice.
I'm really sorry, but that's the big event this year. The big event is Absolute Power, where superheroes get depowered, and it'll be it's the Zaranel in the failsafe robot the Brainiac and whoever they've got time for Wonder Woman are going to take on to destroy the world and destroy superheroes. So that's our main event for this summer. Sorry.
All right. Well, it's not like we haven't seen that before. Anyway, I just, I'm so sick of Amanda Waller everywhere. She's such a. I don't like her character at all anymore. She's like Harley Quinn. I got sick of Harley Quinn because of her overuse and just everything. Now I'm just sick of Amanda Waller. I'm like, can we just not have her everywhere? And how does she have tech that's better than, Terrific's tech? I'm like, how does she have? They're like, let's, scramble it. I'm like,
Brainiac. Damn it, I mentioned Brainiac earlier.
I know. It's just, I'm sick of her, but I liked seeing the Flash family. I still think Flash of China is a terrible name.
I kind of worked it out who the who's who. I was like, what? Who? What? It's like coming back to the TV show after missing 3 seasons. It's like, who are all these people? And then they're having conversations with themselves at different points. I'm like, oh my God.
Yeah.
Just make it make sense.
I don't know why. I don't know why I don't know why Barry has to run around and do everything. Are all of the other Flashes so incompetent that they have to literally have Barry do everything for them?
Well, I think the crux of the mission is that Wally's gone missing. So that's the problem.
I know, but he's helping everyone else and he's calling his, like, oh, where's Wally? I think he's with the Titans. It's like, okay, well, go to where the Titans are. You know where Titan Tower is, right, Barry? He's not there, obviously, but like, it's just, can we leave Wally alone for like 1 second too? Like, Wally's been through the ringer as well. I don't know. The story overall, I like it. Okay, I do. It's just, there's so much going. I don't know why he's listening to Iris. I'm sorry. Now I had stupid Smallville in my head because you just had to bring it up. I have Lana laying in my head.
Somebody save me.
Iris.
I don't care how you do it. Just
go. I can't focus. Iris on the radio. I don't know why we're having that whole thing with Iris on the radio. It just adds more freaking speech bubbles that I was like, okay. And it was so much that all of a sudden when they start going off on cowboys and fossil fuels, I was like, wait, what happened? Why are we talking fossil fuels all of a sudden? I was like, okay. And they're
that's your granddad, that is.
Oh, it is my granddad. He's a cowboy. My granddad was a cowboy and a proud cowboy. But my granddad, he wasn't one at the oil. He was a singing cowboy. He was on TV and stuff. But anyway, I'm not telling you what band he was a part of. That would be too much. Let's see. Because my little rant is about the oil thing. I'm like, okay, yes, fossil fuels pollute, whatever. We get that. But what were we supposed to do back then? Continue to live in the dirt? What other options did they have? There were no options. And I'm all for finding sustainable, good options. But I'm sorry, where I live, you can't do solar panels. Because, well, for one thing, tornadoes rip those suckers up and destroy them immediately. And we have hailstorms every year, which destroy them. So, we'd be constantly fixing them and fixing them and fixing them. So solar doesn't work where I'm from. And then they have the giant wind turbines. And I know people and I've dated people who work on those things. And they're like, yeah.
Was his name Steve?
His name was not Steve. I actually can't remember his name. I really can't. I'm really thinking. I'm like, was it Ethan? I don't remember. But
if you were the turbine guy that dated Freyja, right? Yeah.
I'm sorry, I can't remember your name. You obviously didn't leave an impression. But he was talking about how many animals they kill and whatnot and the amount of land they need. He's like, hey, you know what they do when one of these things break down? I'm like, oh, no, what? Do they recycle it? He's like, no, they just bury it in the ground. I'm like, oh, that's good for the environment.
Don't even get
They
me
just
started.
bury it. Like, just put some dirt on it. I'm like, oh, jeez. And I also remember like, oh, we should do corn. I was like, oh my gosh, do you have any idea how much corn we would have to grow to do that? So I'm like, I think we should go nuclear, to be perfectly honest. Honestly, it's clean. People just are too scared of it. Anywho, that's my little mini rant for this. Overall, I like the story. I like the artwork. I'm just sick of Amanda Waller. I just am. And she is overstepping so many boundaries for like everything in this book. But then again, it's a comic book. Of course she's going to. But I think she's overused. I want them to bring back like actual villains, like, I don't know, Mongol or, anyone. I'm sick of Amanda. I really am. I would be fine if this was just Brainiac, to be perfectly honest, and not Amanda Waller.
Well, we'll find out, won't we?
I know. It's just,
go on. Sorry.
No, it is what it is.
For me, I'm a big hard pass on this. I think for the Flash, I think I read 800 before, or 801 when it got restarted again. And there's lots of like little snippets of what the future holds and this, that, and the other. And I've got to say, not one item of it intrigued me at all. I'm not a big fan of Simon Spurrier's work for the majority. I was hoping they were going to get a little bit more supernatural because of his Sandman stuff. I thought, we're going to get a level of maturity with the Flash, but this book just seems to be all over the place. And part of it's me because I haven't read the previous issues. So, you know what? I hold my hands up. That's on me. But by the same token, to work out what was going on in this book, I had to look it up on Previews World. And that was after reading it twice. So,
yeah.
So I'm a non-Flash fan, I'm afraid.
That's okay.
I like old school Barry before Crisis and Jay Garrick and stuff. I love the Wally West run after Crisis.
Wally was great, yeah.
But yeah, it's just noise. I think they've taken too much of a lead from the TV show. What with all like kind of, I can go multiverse, I can do this, I can do that, and like, so if you don't follow it, then you're just lost.
See,
that's me. I'm lost.
Yeah, I stopped watching the Flash TV show after season 2. I was like, too much. They had a great actor for Flash, though. I think he was perfect.
Yeah, season 1 Flash is brilliant, though. Season 1 Flash is brilliant.
Yeah, just like season 1 Arrow was good.
I like season all the way up to the one after Ra's al Ghul. The magic one was a bit pants after that. It got a little bit
a little weird. Yeah.
Cool.
I just got sick of seeing his abs all the time. I know I'm a weird female. I got sick of seeing a hot dude's abs, but it is what it is.
I don't know what to say to that.
There's too many montages of him doing pull-ups shirtless. I was like, we gonna get on with the story, or are we just gonna keep doing pull-ups? Pull-ups, all right.
On that note, we're done for another week. So we had 4 books, 4 up, 4 down. There you go. Different books from a couple of weeks. Some from a couple of weeks ago. Some from this most recent week. So get check them out. They'll still be in comic book shops as we speak. Don't forget to check out the UCPN for all your favorite shows, including Freyja,
K-pop Cosmos, where we talk about all things K-pop.
Coolio. You can check out our sister show that comes out a week after this, which is our No Prize podcast for everything that is Marvel, MCU, and of course, we'll be talking about the X-Men 87 cartoon. 97? Which one
97.
is it? 97.
Yeah.
Which has been okay, although my wife does say that there's a lot going on in there, which is a fair shout.
Yeah.
And of course, if you like your interviews, don't forget to check out Outside the Panels, our interview show. We have a great pod dropping. It dropped yesterday, and it is the guys from Geek to Me Radio. who
Ooh.
do live shows. They are currently on, or they've recently just done their 400th show. And before you say, oh, you said you only celebrated 200, they go every week.
Oh,
So every Sunday. So what, how many's, yeah, we've been doing this 8
wow.
years. So just saying.
Yeah.
Freyja, been an absolute blast. Thank you so much.
Oh, no problem. Thanks for putting up with my rants.
It's all right. I'm now going to go downstairs and rescue my wife from the kitchen.
But does she want to be there?
I'm joking. She's probably watching Below Deck or something. Or the snooker, one of the two. And I am going to go do that, and I will see you next fortnight.
Ooh.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Okay. So as always, I've been your host, Johnny Machine Hughes. It's that time. Adios.
Bye, guys.